Ladies and gentlemen of the crypto space, we're live on a Tuesday, August 24th at 11:39 a.m. There's two topics on my mind today that I want to hit. I'm going to hit it hard. Keep it simple. Let you guys know what I'm thinking. I want to talk about obviously Visa changing their profile pic to a crypto punk. It seems trivial, it seems little, but some of the littlest things, some of the most trivial things, like changing an image from it's a social beacon. It's Visa, and the general public, especially in the U.S., operates on credit cards, so everyone knows, and everyone will see, not just in crypto Twitter, just on Twitter. And it will lead to questions and searches and research and, attempting to understand what's going on, why it's going on, how it's going on. Social narratives and trends, little things mean a lot. They permeate society often at a subconscious level, and they influence fundamental culture. It's not trivial. It's not. The little things are sometimes the least trivial. Today's episode is sponsored by Change Angel, the non-custodial swap exchange for social goods. Stop depositing on exchanges, not your keys, not your crypto, non-custodial DeFi, or nothing at all. Bam, let's pop it over to the main screen and see who's in the stream. Winner in trading, good morning. 11 people in the stream, 2 likes. We can do better. So, two topics, obviously. One is Visa and just what's going on, trying to understand, NFTs, and there's the speculative component of them. There's a large part of the persons operating in the NFT space that aren't trying to sell for a higher price. They're collecting, they're enjoying, they're buying art actually for the first time in their lives. Now, there's plenty of artists out there in traditional land. And they make paintings and creations and sculptures and trinkets and shit. So that's what's occurring in digital form. Doesn't mean you're going to buy something and it goes up in value. You buy a little painting at an art fair because it's nice, not because you want to sell it for a higher price. So this is a significant cultural change that's going on. And just because people think it's a bubble, sure, there's bubble aspects like it. Like pick an NFT asset that people are buying and selling for higher price over and over and over again and running up the price. What a ridiculous, it's ridiculous. And that is risky because they're illiquid markets and they're supposed to be. It's art. Nobody buys and sells a piece of art in a week or a day. It's not the point of it. The point of it is what it fundamentally is. And it's something new. I spent a fair amount of money. I think I have $250,000 in NFTs at this point. And I have maybe one listed. One. Everything else I want. I'm not listing it because I want it. Bought it for a reason. Just saying. People trying to make capital gains in the NFT space. That plays into my other idea that I wanted to talk about. I hate capital gains. It is the most infuriating thing that is on my mind at the moment. Jamming the crypto space into the legacy equities markets tax regime is so infuriating, what we've had to go through over the last couple of years. I'm done. I have no interest in capital gains to such a degree that I will avoid capital gains at all costs. I don't want to do any of that reporting. Not because I don't want to report, it's because it's so annoying. Can they make it any more annoying and frustrating, infuriating? So, just very much consistent with my ideology of yield bearing positions. You guys know about my primary convex position, which hasn't been touched. So it produces income. If you avoid capital gains and you focus on income bearing positions, yield bearing positions, synonymous terms, there's no capital gains reporting, there's no transactions. You basically go and you basically report it as self employment income. Boop. You got income, which is like Fiverr or where some where do I get where do I get other income from? Plenty of places I've gotten income from over the years, but this is self-employment income. Hey, government, I made a shitload of money. I owe taxes on it here. So you'd say, here's your top line. This is how much I made for fiscal year 2021. And you owe income tax, which is tax bracket. And it's simple. It's just one line for your top line, how much you made. And TurboTax says here how much you owe. That's what I'm talking about. I'm done with capital gains, completely done with it. History 2023 is going to be the easiest tax reporting season because I'm focusing on income. Now, I've been focusing on income. Now, everyone knows the story that I tell on the stream. It's been the same story for quite a while now. We played some games earlier in the year, and especially in 2020. But the path forward is more clear to me than ever. Killis is in the house. Enoch, what's up? Noah, Killis, did you get that really weird, cool Hell NFT, Noah? I think it was in a train that had a looping scene. No, I did not. I did not. I bought a couple of cool one-off NFTs. Um, this kid's NFTs are absolutely ridiculous. 2J. So he is a kid. Kid. I'm 38. He's younger than me. Is the point? He's probably speculatively either younger than 20 or low 20s. But this kid's got skills. This stuff is cool. And it's art. You buy it because if you want it. If you have the cash, you buy it because you want it, not because you expect to sell it. Stupid way to look at the NFT space. Oh, it's going up in price. No, no, that's what the crypto space is for. If you're going to be degenerate and you want to buy something to sell it higher, at least do it in a liquid market where you can just sell it. These are illiquid. That's the whole point of NFTs is that they're illiquid. So why the hell are you buying low, selling high? That's just a waste of time. Look at this stuff. This stuff's crazy. This kid's got skills. I like this. I don't own this. Someone's trying to resell this for 5. There's a non-colorful version for 1, which I'm very tempted to acquire. But I have one of his other pieces of all these fast food punks. Come on, that's meme. But society is built on memes and stories and trends and culture and all this stuff. And we're not heading back. Things don't head back. Trends don't reverse and head in the opposite direction. Trends keep moving forward because they have momentum. Kenji's in the house. Captain Weber's in the house. It's all good. Where's this kid's art? Spider Class. This is cool. Paul, yo, yo. I'm a musician. I want to tokenize my rights. Sure. What about legality? Buying an unregistered? No, it's an NFT. They think fucking unregistered security. You put your music into you host the metadata on IPFS. You launch an NFT and you sell your music, and then you figure out how stupid the government is afterwards. Because if a technology is available to allow you to capitalize on your skill set, I wouldn't hesitate for a second. Don't fear their lack of regulatory capacity. Don't fear it. Don't fear regulation. You move forward. If you're an artist and a musician, figure out how to do this shit and sell. Because otherwise you're working, you're doing what, labor for someone else? No, you do you. Paul, seriously, don't hesitate for a second. Look at this cutie. Look at this little spider class. This kid has made some serious money in the crypto space. Whereas typically, if I was 18 and in high school, I'd be broke. Excuse me. So this kid's made money with his skill. So I was lucky. I wrote Android apps back in the day in '09. So I was part of the first class of being able to use my skills to create something. I made apps. Now you can make digital art, digital music with ownership rights and all that fancy shit, and you have a source of income. Build your source of income. And if you have a skill set and you're creative, that is the best way to build a source of income. You have one shot, boys and girls. I tell you this all the time, and I say that from a parental perspective. You have one shot to do things better, to do things right, to execute, and to find a path that's different than, unfortunately, what most people do, um, which is disappointing, um, and anxiety ridden. Traditional employment. You know, Dispensability. If you're an employee for someone else, you're dispensable. Anyone can be an employee. So you got to find your indispensability. And if you're making your own stuff and you have an income stream from your own stuff, now you're indispensable. It works. You're not dependent on someone else for income. Man, a lot of what I say comes from the sentiment I've had over the years as an employee for various companies and corporations. One time I was a contractor. I was working two contracts at the time. And it just so happens, so one of the contracts they canceled on a Wednesday, like, they up and canceled it like scumbags they are. And then another one, the other one, they canceled on a Friday. And I put in a fair amount of work for that company that canceled the contract on a Friday. That was actually the company I was working for that I had more interested in. So I was applying more time to their work, and they canceled the contract. So it was a double whammy. I was dependent on two contracts for income. It was nice income at the time. And they both got canceled in a week. So all of a sudden I was up left and dry. And it was out of my control. But for artists and creators, it's in their control. If your income is dipping, you make some more art. You put in that extra time. You crank out some new music. You're in control. Such a better way of life than what I did to myself. All that anxiety for what? For what? So I envy you, Paul, if you're a musician and if you have skills. And people say what they probably say, that, whoa, that's good. Sell it and make money off of it and do what most people don't do. Most people just let their life go by filled with anxiety, frustration, doubt, never doing anything. If anything, you come in here, do it. I'll give you all the encouragement you need. It's not hard. You can figure it out. And I'll give you all, I'll support you. I'll tell you, you can do it. You can do it. Look at all this shit you see on the screen. Plenty of people have done stuff and figured stuff out and put pictures and animations, and you can do it with the music too. You can do it. You can do it. Chris, I'll get on to a new topic. I'm enjoying my revenue in Convex and Cosmos very much. Cosmos is absolutely on fire lately, boys and girls. Fire. So GravityDEX launched, which is really cool. I believe that's on the Cosmos hub, so it's not even a separate chain. That's awesome. So Osmosis is on a separate chain, so they have their own validators, so on and so forth. So it's obviously significant incentivized returns. They have incentives. So this thing just cranking out capital. Um, so this is not incentivized returns yet on Emerus, which is GravityDEX. Point being, I think, yeah, the hotness is with Avalanche and Solana at the moment. They're meaningful, but my interest really is Cosmos and Polkadot and Ethereum. And I believe that's the case because really the BSN and the China narrative and the digital yuan. There is no other country that is pushing ahead like China, and that's just disappointing from an American citizen standpoint. They have they're so misplaced and misguided. There's only a couple of senators that get it, what's going on. And there is definitely not a sense of urgency, or maybe there is, but they don't make their opinions public. I mean, the urgency really is that China has a capacity to build and deploy this without question or any resistance from its citizens, because of the structure of their government, being communist and all. Um, so the U.S. doesn't operate like that. The U.S. operates by choice and adoption. That's not China. So if China deploys this and everyone has to use it and their entire financial system changes in a brief couple of years, whereas in the US, it's by choice and adoption and opinion. And oh, I'm old. I don't want to use a digital currency. Yeah, so you're going to have 30% of the population, retirement age, 60 and above, that are like, I want to write checks and I love my fax machine. So the population is never going to adopt it in the US. But in China, it's not optional. It's not a choice. It's enforced. How do you compete against that? I don't think, I think most people underestimate the implications of a digital central bank currency. Um, I think they're going to be extremely powerful from a financial standpoint. And the only reason people, why would people use it? They're going to be paid to use the Chinese currency. And how could they be paid to use it? Because they have unlimited amounts of it. It's central bank currency. And why would they pay people to use it? To spur adoption. And why would they do this? Because we've seen this in the DeFi space. Incentivized participation drives $1 billion worth of capitalization onto a protocol in a day. Incentives, incentive systems with an unlimited capital reserve. People are underestimating the shit out of the digital yuan. I don't see it any other way. People will use something because they want to. But people will use something if they're paid to use it. Everything changes. Paul, we just got the keys back to our IP after the piracy of digital music was hard to have hope, but now it feels like the game has changed. Yeah, now you have a capacity to sell your music and be paid for it, and it cannot be copied. Um, well, I mean, it could be recorded. Like you're playing an NFT and you have a damn recorder. But maybe you can't play the NFT unless you own the NFT. But that would entail someone that owns the NFT has. It's complicated. But the point being, it's a new territory. New territory, definitely. So how it plays out, we'll see. We'll see what kind of new piracy there is for NFT uh, music. We know as time goes on, because this is literally just brand new. This shit, NFTs just picked up this year. But literally, CryptoPunks were cheap at the beginning of the year. Crazy sauce, crazy sauce. 28 people in the stream, 12 likes. We can do better. So yield and taxes. One second, my screen. There we go. Um, Yield and taxes was the other topic. I have no interest in capital gains anymore. That shit is just infuriating. So I focus on my convex position. I believe I've accumulated enough capital to just relax and not retire. But if it's 40 grand a month, that if it's 40 grand a month, I'm not complaining. It's a remarkable income stream from not doing any work. Um, it changes everything. So clearly, I've accumulated a fair amount of capital. That's been at a higher number. It's been at a lower number. That was at six and change a couple weeks back. It's been at 1.2, 1.3 at some points in time. So you still have the exposure to the volatility of the crypto space, but now you factor in where you think curve's going to be and the lockening and yearn and 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 even just from a VE curve perspective, governance of the platform and people speculating on what curve will be in the future, and they want to own governance rights directly, not via a proxy such as convex or yearn. They want just pure VE curve. And you can imagine. people coming in with a huge amount of capital to buy Curve so they could buy those governance rights. Um, so folks are deploying a huge amount of capital on Avalanche and Solana, and I'm sitting back. Why the heck am I going to extend effort considering the 59% returns on capital that I could just sit back and relax and check back in a year or two when, there's over $1 million. In 2 years, it's over $1 million in returns. So I would, I, this is a nice number, and I got to it via a lot of capital gains in 2020 and some of the beginning of 2021. And I obviously worked, so I moved a lot of capital into the space at the beginning of 2020. And this is the result of saving. So here's the thing: a lot of folks treat the crypto space as the gambling, as degenerate, degeneracy, opportunity for degeneracy. Treat it as a bank. Treat it as savings. If I was younger, that's what I would have. I wish I could tell my younger self. Um, Save differently. I've had bank account balances over the years. I remember when I was doing pizza delivery back in the day, when I graduated college, I was able to save up like 30 grand in a bank account. I had no one to tell me to do it differently. When I moved out of my house to get my first apartment with my wife, because we were pregnant at the time, about 120 grand in cash in a bank account. I wish I had someone to tell me to do it differently. So I had 120 grand. Instead of buying the apartment and getting the mortgage and putting the 20% down, I deployed cash to strategic investments, yield-bearing investments. So I was 30. I'm 38 now. I'd have a different life right now. So what people don't understand is that opportunity is every second. Meaning, if I had that cash now and I did what I did now, in 8 years' time, I know where things are going to be in 8 years because I know what happened between me being 30 and 38. So between 38 and 46, I know where I'm going to be. At this pace, I'm going to be retired. I wish someone told me what I know now when I was 30. That's something I wish. Chris, haven't gotten into GravityDEX yet. What do you know about it? It does the same thing as osmosis. It's an AMM, so you can provide liquidity. And what you know about Cosmos Hubs is it has the Stargate, which is interblockchain communication. So you're able to trade cross blockchain. Each of these assets is on a different blockchain. So that's what the big deal is with Cosmos and Polkadot. Um, surely you could have tokenized representations on on when you go into Polygon or Avalanche or Solana and you have your bridges. But this is very different. What Polkadot and Cosmos have done is very different, and they're all meaningful in their own respect. I will not discount at all Avalanche. In fact, my big play on Avalanche is BlockNet. So I've been in BlockNet for years. It's been 3, 4 years at this point. So, and now they're playing with Avalanche. Woo. And now BlockNet's been on fire. If I look at transactions, wow. So BlockDX has been being consumed significantly, especially from a historical standpoint in which it was trivially consumed. So I'm quite surprised and interested and excited to see that because I've always known the potential for BlockNet. StakeNet as well. Syscoin. I mean, these secondary chains have been becoming hot, and now Syscoin's adding smart contracts, and in addition to everything else that Syscoin does, at the top of it all off is merge mined with Bitcoin. So merge mined with Bitcoin having smart contracts. Okay, so I think that might be flying under the radar a little bit. And all you have to do is come up with a crafty monetary policy to incentivize the shit out of interacting with the protocol, bam, this coin pulls an Avalanche, pulls a Polygon, pulls a Solana, pulls a Binance Smart Chain. It all started with what we saw with Binance Smart Chain. It set the foundation. Then we saw, hey, Polygon was about to pull a BSC. So now we know what you need, the properties you need to see, or the status of a chain for it to really escalate in significance. So Avalanche threw 180 mil in incentives. Boom, done. There goes the billions. They flood in. Solana, FTX, incentive systems, ridiculous opportunity, and the capital flowed in. One by one, chains will replicate it. I don't know. I've had a Syscoin masternode for years now. It's got to be 3 years. So I don't know. I don't tell you guys what to do. I never will. Tell you guys what I do and my opinions and my experience. And man, I wish I was around to tell myself what I know when I was 30. Because I wouldn't be sitting where I am right now. You'd probably see a sunny beach on an island in the background. But when I'm 46, you're going to see that sunny beach on the island in the background. 46. All right, not that bad. It did pretty good. 32 people in the stream, 15 likes. We can do better. Paul, thank you for all you do. Know I'm 32. Worked at a pizza restaurant for years until COVID, taking computer science classes and studying crypto. Do your computer science, understand the fundamentals, but skip over I'm a Kotlin programmer by profession at this point. But skip over Kotlin, skip over Java, skip over oh my God, Objective C and Swift. Focus on Solidity, Viper. And now you're talking about uh, EVM smart contract coding. So Solidity and Viper, big deal. You can look into Flutter. Flutter's written in Dart. Dart has a syntax that's comparable to Java and Kotlin. It's really cool. So that's cool. And Dart, Flutter allows you to build cross-platform iOS and Android applications simultaneously, and in a very effective. Probably the only effective cross-platform solution, in my opinion. React Native, I completely discount and I have no interest in. Um, so the big choices there. I mean, the future is obviously Solidity and Viper at this point. You learn that, and if you could just crank out some smart contracts, crank out some React, websites and portals, and host it on IPFS, and throw it on an unstoppable domain, and slap together a portfolio of like a couple of different projects where you're playing around with portals and smart contracts, and create some monetary policies, some ERC20s, and have your portals interact with them. And if you do that, you get the job so damn quick. You know how I know? I know from experience. That's what I did in 2009. I wrote a bunch of apps on the Play Store. I had no formal education in programming, but my apps on the Play Store means when I went to interviews, I was able to show people this is what I'm doing. I chose to do this. I wanted to do this. I got 6 apps on the Play Store. Show people a portfolio and no one gives a shit about your education. The education's good though, Paul, particularly because of the fundamentals. I never learned the fundamentals. I had to learn them the hard way. And I did. Um, so enjoy the fundamentals, but Solidity and Viper, and you'll have a career. Food for thought. Food for thought. I'm going to wrap up the stream Tuesday, August 24th at 12:08 p.m. As always. Oh, wait. No, not frax. I want to show you guys frax. I want to show you guys frax. 2 seconds, guys. 2 seconds. Bear with me. Bear with me. This is the hotness going on. I have a heck of a feeling about this. I mean, you don't see charts like that just out of the blue. If it loads, F FXS BUSD. Yeah, something's going on with frax 650. That's fucking crazy. So something's happening with frax, and it's being massively consumed. I mean, it's up. That's a 50% rip in 3 days. Forward to more than 50. Something interesting going on. So you guys know I've had a bunch of frax, and food for thought. Doesn't mean deploy capital to it, but the reason why it's hard to say to deploy capital because I've had frax since down here, lower 2 and change, whatever the hell I bought it at. But how the hell do you buy something after candles like this? But what I find most fascinating is the sell-off. I find these wicks ridiculously interesting. So there's been a massive accumulation that drives it up to 7, then a quick sell-off, but the wicks are so big. Something's going on. Something. Anyway, Tuesday, August 24th, 12:10 p.m. As always, thank you everyone for joining. After hours in the Discord, as always, I wish you all a wonderful day. Tell everyone to subscribe. I will see you tomorrow. Peace.